Let me go ahead and address this because it simply needs to be addressed. I think the problem is that people don't comprehend exactly the way that we do things here at Straitway. Listen very closely. We actually love the fact and the matter when people get married. I mean, after all, it's no secret. All you have to do is just go on YouTube, look into the archive. You can see how many marriages we perform. We are not discouraging marriages in Israel. What we are is discouraging dysfunctional, perceived dysfunctional, and toxic marriages. You know, things that can simply go awry within a matter of a few months of both parties agreeing. And we've got enough rodeos up under our belt to know what's going to work and what's not going to work. Now, the choice and decision is still up to the person. And once you make that choice and decision, we hold you to it. We hold you to it. Because, see, in Israel, all this marrying, divorce, marrying, having issues and troubles and problems with each other, marrying, fussing and fighting and arguing like the Gentiles because either one or both parties refuse to get into their role, that stuff comes to a screeching halt. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. If you choose to go out here, and I can understand when people already come to the ministry and you're already married, you're there, good. But when you're here and you're looking for an Israelite spouse and you're looking to be married or you're looking for someone to marry, there's a prescribed way that we go about doing things. We do it because we know that it works. We're not trying to keep up with the Gentiles out here and have a 70% divorce rate. To us, your word is your bond. And it's easy just to throw in the towel and say, you know what, forget it, I'm done with it. No. You are going to be a man or woman of integrity and a man and woman of your word. Why? Because leadership is. Don't sit up and expect more out of others than you're capable of producing yourself. Because it simply just ain't going to fly over here Straitway. You expect more out of us, we expect the same measure out of you. And you can't say that it can't be done. Listen, the Bible says that when a man gets married, he's going to find trouble in the flesh. It didn't say nothing about a woman. It says man. It always puts it towards a man. You the one going to find trouble. And then it tells the husbands, when you get a wife, don't be bitter against them. The problem is that men don't know how to lead. They don't know how to lead their homes. And you can't be a leader in Israel if you can't manage your own house and your own affairs. That's just simple. And, you know, most of us come from a society where men try to use the hood gangster aspect of trying to slap their wives around and rule with an iron thumb. That ain't what we do here. By loving kindness have I drawn you. Now, there are times you have to actually put your foot down, and you're going to have to be forceful. You're going to have to actually lay the law down. But man, whatever happened to the man treating the wife like the Messiah treats the assembly? The Messiah, he corrects us, he reproves us, he rebukes us, he chastens us, but he loves us, he's long-suffering with us, he's kind and he's generous as well. There's not a false balance with him. I understand we're fallible and flawed, and he's not, but guess what? We have something to obtain to then, don't we? That means our virtues have got to be real. That means our word got to be real, and our lifestyle got to be real. Anything short of that is nothing but hypocrisy. So we want people, believe me or not, we want people to get married. You know why? Because we need to get about nation building, getting a righteous seed on this earth. We need a righteous family together to bring forth some babies. Because damn it, I'm getting older. I ain't no damn spring chicken. And some of you ain't no damn spring chickens. And we need babies to keep this nation, to keep this truth growing, because very few people out of the grand scheme of things in this world is coming to the truth. And of course, the Bible already spoke about that. It said it was going to be that way anyway. But the reason why that the secular system out there makes so many laws and has things so set up in this wicked world that marriage is designed to fail right from its very inception is because Satan does not want a righteous seed on this earth. That also means don't rejoice in a bunch of unprofitable children too. Just because you have a seed doesn't mean that it's righteous. We see that with Cain and Abel. We see that with Jacob and Esau. We see that with David and all the children he had. Absalom wasn't a righteous seed. We see that with Elkanah and his rebellious children. So just because you're having children don't mean that they're profitable children. Some of you out there just dropping babies left and right. And right now they're young, but then you ain't hit their teenage years yet. You have no experience of raising teenagers. You have no experience. Once that mindset hit in that 12, 13-year-old range, now the testing and trying is going to be on. Now you're going to really know what you're made of as far as a parent goes. Because it's easy to talk about what type of parent you are when they're young little babies like 10 and under. But boy, wait till their mind starts developing and setting in. You better hope that you've done your job in creating an environment and a brother or sister or a young male or female that fears the Most High Yah and that will honor and respect you. I'm going to tell you right now, the majority of families fail right off from the beginning is because the wife is bitter against her husband and she doesn't prop up that husband, because the one thing that a daughter needs is the love of the father. And any time that you have children, it's the mother's responsibility to make sure that the love of the father is paramount, because the father, just by the grand scheme of things, is not going to be around the family and the children all day long like the mother is. The father is out working, bringing home the bread and the meat. So he doesn't have all day long to hang around the children to be the first line teacher. The wife in herself should be personally responsible to make sure that the children are constantly lifting up, not using these damn innuendos because mama's offended and use this silent rebellion, and because the children can't articulate it, but they know mama's all jacked up as hell. So what ends up happening is that the children is sensitive towards the pains of the mama, then they end up getting offended at the daddy who's actually putting food on the damn table, clothes on your back, and a roof over your head. Isn't it just nonsensical, stupid as hell what goes on? So we're not trying to revisit any of these type of character flaws. We're trying to create Israelite marriages and people who want to be married in the purest of sense, so that we can continue to keep going on in the newness of life and having a righteous seed of Yaakov here in Israel. Y'all follow me? So just try to do things righteous. We know what we're doing. And maybe one day, when you find a wife, you'll find a good thing and attain favor with Yah. Just because you found a woman don't mean she's a wife. I'm telling you, that does not mean she's a wife or wife material. If she can't obey you, she ain't a wife. Everybody seems like they start off good when they first start off. I keep telling you. People paint a picture. They're not real up front. And then all of a sudden, after the honeymoon is over with, life sets in, and you start finding out the real character, both male and female. Now you're stuck.